All right, these are the answers to the Simplifying Radicals worksheet. What we're looking for in all these cases is some perfect square that could divide evenly into them. So it would be helpful if you had that list of perfect squares kind of next to you, so that you're looking for the largest one of these that divides evenly into there. Now we could keep going with it, you know, there's no end to the perfect squares, but we're looking for the largest one that goes into it. So for 50, I know that's 25 times 2, and 25 is on the list. So we want that first number to be that, all right? And then what you do after that is say, well, the square root of 25 is 5. And so there's our answer. So again, come to 90. The largest of these numbers that divides evenly into that is 9. Goes in 10 times. And the square root of 9 is 3. 44, the largest of those numbers that divide evenly is 4. Goes in 11 times. Square root of 4 is 2. So you start to get a rhythm, start to get a kind of an idea here. 128, there's a lot that go into that, but the largest one is 64. Goes in 2 times. The square root of 64 is 8. 600, the largest one that divides into that is 100. Goes in 6 times. And the square root of 100 is 10. Now, you get something like this, probably the best thing to do here is to multiply those two together, make it one square root, so we get the square root of 48. And now we're going to ask, well, what's the largest number, perfect square, that goes into that? And the largest one that goes into that is 16. It goes in 3 times. And the square root of 16 is 4. When we get something like this, we're just going to hold off on the 4. We don't worry about it right now. And we look at the 72. The largest one that goes into 72 is 36. Goes in 2 times. The square root of 36 is 6. And then once we've done that, so this is 72. Once we do that, then we multiply here. 4 times 6 is 24. And that's our answer there. For something like 8, we're going to go 3 times 5, 15. And then we'll do the square root. 6 times 15 is 90. All right? Now, square root of 90 we already did. That was number 2. That was square root of 9 times square root of 10. And the square root of 9 is 3. And 15 times 3 is 45. So we end up with that right there. For number 9, we're going to divide 320 divided by 10. That's 32. And then we're going to split that into 16 times 2. Square root of 16 is 4. We get 4 square roots of 2. For these variable ones, for the first one, we can just actually do this. Square root of 9 is 3. The square root of x to the 4th is x squared, because x squared times x squared would give me x to the 4th. The square root of y to the 12th would be y to the 6th, because y to the 6th times y to the 6th would be y to the 12th. When you get something that's not a perfect square, then we're going to split it like this. 20 is 4 times 5. X to the 11th. Now, if I pull one of those x's off, I'll have 10 left over. And I can do square root of x to the 10th. As long as it's an even, I can do that. The odd, I can't, right? So I pull one of those x's off, and now I can do this. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of x to the 10th is x to the 5th. And I leave this kind of extra pile right there. And then for number 12, again, I'm going to leave the 3. Don't worry about that. I'm trying to split this up. So 200 is 100 times 2. X to the 3rd, I'm going to take one of those x's off, put the other 2 in here, and put all 8 of these in here. All right, so now we're going to get 3 times square root of 100, which is 10, times square root of x squared, which is x, times square root of y to the 8th, which is y to the 4th, times square root of 2x. And the last thing we'll do is just multiply there. So I get 30x y to the 4th times square root of 2x. And that's my answer there. We have some more. These are some extra kind of problems to see if we really understand. So again, I'm going to leave that 8 there. I'm going to split the 44 into 4 times 11. The m is going to go in here. There's nothing I can really do with that. The n squared can go here. I can take the square root of that. So this is going to give me 8 times square root of 4, which is 2, times square root of n squared, which is n, times square root of 11m. And then if I multiply that, I get 16n times square root of 11m. That's my answer. All right, 117. If I try to kind of break that down, I can get a 9 in there. 9 can go in 13 times. And so it's not the easiest to see that, but if you try a few of them, you'll see that that works. I can get all 18 x's in here. I'll be able to simplify that in a second. I'm going to pull one y off and put the other 18 in there. All right, square root of 9 is 3. Cut these in half. I get x to the 9th, y to the 9th, times the square root of 13y. That's my answer there. For 15, 7 is not going to be able to be split, right? Square root of 7 is just square root of 7, so it actually is going to just go over here. I can put all 20 of these in here. I can take a b off and put the other 14 in there. Now square root of 8 to the 20th would be a to the 10th. Square root of that would be b to the 7th times square root of 7b. That'd be my answer there. For 16, I'm pulling that 5 off here, split this up. 32 is 16 times 2. Take an x off, put the other 4 in here, and put all 10 in here. All right, now that's going to be 5 times square root of 16, which is 4, times x squared, times y to the 5th, times square root of 2x. Last thing to do is just go ahead and multiply. That's going to be 20 x squared y to the 5th times square root of 2x. For 17, again, what I would do is go ahead and put these together. So 12 times 8 is 96. X cubed times x is x to the 4th. And then we got that y to the 7th. All right, now we're going to try to split this. And 96 is 16 times 6. So we'll split it that way. X to the 4th, we can put all 4 of those in there. But y to the 7th, we're going to pull one y off, put the other 6 in there. All right, square root of 16 is 4. Cut these in half. X squared y to the 3rd times square root of 6y. There's our answer. And then our last one here, we're going to go 3 times 4, that's 12. 3 times 12 inside is 36. And you want to kind of always be thinking here, because you could get in the habit of always trying to split things, but square root of 36 is 6. So this is 12 times 6, which is 72. That's our answer there.